That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast. Happy Thursday. That's how I'm going to open every podcast now, as if you worked in an office with me and I saw you at the water cooler and you hated me and yet I still dropped Happy Thursday in your lap. Right there in your lap. Hold on, let me reach in your lap and get it. Well, what's this? Is that what you keep in your lap? That's stuff I keep in my lap, Mike. Well, good for you. That seems like a solid place for it. And solid is an understatement. Ha ha ha. Jerking off, guys. All right, so, hi. A little out of sorts today, folks. I won't lie to you. It's an early record. Early. 6 a.m. on a Wednesday. Oh, and I can see my breath. And we're outside. There's no roof. Lily and I are in the back of a flatbed truck speeding through Los Angeles, and we're doing this show on the move, baby, because we got to go. We got to make sure that nobody catches us because we are on the lam from the law, because Lily and I are outlaws, baby. Dirty Lily and Crazy Mike. That's who we are.
Why am I Dirty Lily?
Well, because it made sense.
Can't I be Crazy?
You know what? Actually, you know what? It should be Dirty Mike and Crazy Lily, because it was Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry, so it's M and L. Dirty Larry and Crazy Mike.
I don't want to be the dirty one.
All right, you're the crazy one.
That works.
Okay.
Wait, no, you're the crazy one.
Bullshit.
Can't it just be Dirty Crazy
Out.
Mike?
Done. You tried.
Dirty Crazy Mike and Lily.
No, you're not and anything. You got to go along with your Dirty Lily. No.
Lily and Dirty Crazy Mike.
Why do you get top billing? Hold on a second. Wait a second. I'm the fucking man.
Top billing.
I'm the goddamn
Why
talent.
Dirty Crazy Mike then. Leave me out of this whole thing.
Because I need somebody to push the buttons. Dirty Crazy Mike can't control the computer himself. Dirty Crazy Mike needs a companion, a sidekick. He needs somebody to go ahead and push the buttons and be like,
Dirty Crazy Mike asterisk Lily on the soundboard.
no, you see, you have no flair for the dramatic at all.
Oh, I don't want to be a part of any of this.
That's sad that you're backing out. People won't expect you to be a part of this. And they all expect you to be Dirty Lily, let's face it. Because, again, I tell stories about whatever conquests or things that I've done and all this sort of weird sex stuff, which, by the way, I'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
But they all think of you as this, unattainable sex goddess. So that's why you're Dirty Lily. Because in their minds, you're already Dirty Lily, for fuck's sake. I mean, so why would I even compromise that? Yes. You think, if you went to listeners of this show, if you took them and you sat them down in a focus group, which, believe me, is never happening, although I wish it could. I want to do that. You know what? I want to go to Canada and focus group this fucking show because they like me there. I don't know about America so much anymore, but if I go to Canada, I can go to Toronto. I can go to Montreal where our man Angelo's on the ground. I can go to fucking Winnipeg where I got all sorts of fans who came down to see me. I got Sandra D. Sanchez, of course, is our lovely fan up there in Winnipeg. We can go to fucking Vancouver, where, fucking Sean and Seth and Shannon and fucking everybody else is there, and Jesse, everybody is there. So, and I met a guy at the Seattle show, and I thought he said his name was Warren. Let's get to that. All right, let's get into this for just a second. Folks, somehow I chili dipped the fuck out of Seattle. I don't know how I did it. Remember I was giving you names and talking about people? Do you remember the hero of last week's episode?
Yes.
Who? Who was it?
Well, I don't remember.
Well, it's Paul Hoover.
Yeah.
Our lovely friend Paul Hoover, who went ahead and picked me up at the airport, was right there on bedbug patrol, set a nice place for me, brought me some Chobani's and some Propel, bought me a peanut butter and jelly bar because he's the man. That's Paul Hoover, ladies and gentlemen. Then Paul Hoover, at the end of the night, he takes me over to the sushi bar. He has my luggage. He fucking secures the private room. Hoove! Fucking Hoove! Well, after the show goes up, I'm sitting in my house, and I got a text from our friend Paul Hoover, and he wrote me, and he's like, Mike, it was really surreal to hear the everything, but it's good to know that I came through, and thank you so much, and blah, blah. He was very friendly and very nice in his thank you text. And so I'm writing him back a text, and all of a sudden it dawns on me, because I called him Hoove the whole time in Seattle. Like, I shortened it to Hoove, and that's what I did on the show too. I'm like, Hoove. But we're in Seattle, we're walking around, we're going to the sushi bar, we're doing, and I'm like, Hoove, come on, Hoove, you can't do that. Come on, Hoove, you got to back off. Whatever, Hoove. He finally looks at me and he goes, my name is Paul Cheever. Corrected me in Seattle after the show. And just because my head went to Hoover because the VER. So I was like, and because there's an H in it, so it's Cheever, but with, so I went to Hoover, and I kept calling him Paul Hoover, and I kept calling him Hoove. I made him Hoove all that. Even from the stage, I called him Hoove. Okay, so it's kind of an easy mix 'em up, I think. But at the same time, I don't know if it's that easy. It's just me being stupid because I usually remember a lot of people and I remember their names. I'll see people in multiple cities and I'll say who they are and they'll go, Jesus Christ, which is weird. But but Paul Hoover, no, Paul Cheever.
But you wouldn't have wanted to call him Cheeve all weekend.
Cheeve. What's up, Cheeve? So you say I just make him Hoover for no reason?
I think you should just tell him to change his name.
Yeah, do that, Hoove. Can't have that happening. Come on, you walk out at that point. You can't be.
You called him by the wrong name, but he's fucking awesome.
Yep. And he recorded me. He let me do it all weekend, and then he recorded me finally. He's like, my Paul Cheever is my name because his band name is the Chibacabra.
That's right.
So I should have known it. It's right there in the. I even plugged the band last week, and it didn't dawn on me. Well, so I called him that. So I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry, whatever. So I come here to do the show. He's Paul Hoover all over the show. Hoove, Paul Hoover, Hoove. I do the whole show. I get that text from him, and I go to answer his text because he texted me on, after he dropped me off at the airport or whatever. No, he didn't drop me at the airport. He texted me the next day on Sunday, and to tell me how much he liked the show, which was very nice of him. And so I was going to reply to his text after like 4 days, and I went to type, and I'm typing, and I just see the name Paul Cheever or Paul Hoover because I in the phone,
Put it in wrong.
in the phone he's Paul Hoover. So fuck it. I'm actually going to read it to you because I was typing him a fucking response.
Oh my God.
And
Not only I did shit like
no,
that,
dude,
you.
and the thing is I never do shit like that. That's the thing that drives me crazy. So I'm writing him his fucking response, and where is it? Right here. I just typed, all I wrote is, dude, I'm the worst. The absolute fucking worst. Here's how dumb I am. And I took a screenshot of my phone with that phrase and then at the top it just says Paul Hoover. And I go, you're even Paul Hoover in my fucking phone. I can't apologize enough. Correcting this will be my first order of business next week. God damn it, Paul. You deserve better. Please know I know that. Which, by the way, way too much apology for Paul Hoover. He doesn't deserve that much apology, all right? Paul Hoover, Paul Cheever, whatever the fuck. God damn it. But your name is important, though. Hoove. But I've told that story on here when I quit a job because they wouldn't call me by my name. I fucking just bailed. I left. I came into work in the morning, and they were like, I go, hey, I'm Mike. He goes, we already have a Mike who works here. What's your middle name? I said, Glenn. He goes, all right, you're Glenn. And I worked like an hour, and I left for lunch and never came back. Never came back because you know what? Fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? You cannot dehumanize me in this fucking job. I mean, I'm dehumanized enough fucking coming in here and trying to sell people children's books or whatever the fuck you got going on. But the fact that I have to sit at a phone in a boiler room is bad enough. But now you're going to call me Glenn? And let's be honest. I'm sure that the Glenn in me would prefer to be anonymous at the boiler room. But the Mike in me is just arrogant enough to want to have his own fucking name said. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, fuck you, man. Call me by my fucking name at this shit job that's terrible. But I just don't have any patience for that kind of shit. So when I fucked it up, I was so mad. And I sent him the fucking apology. I'm like, dude. And then he then wrote me like a fucking 8-minute text and appeasing me, which is more than any of you have to do. People are so nice. They always reach out to me. And I'm like, I just fucked that up. And they're like, no, dude, you didn't even have to say my name. It's fine. But Paul went over and above. And then I fucked his name up the entire goddamn show. But then it started me to thinking, and I met people from Vancouver. I met Gabby and Lewis, and I met them, and Carl and Jessica. But then there was a guy, I think he said his name was Warren, okay? And then he put up a picture on Facebook, and his name is Sid. And I'm like, did I somehow pull... Like, is his name Sid Kennedy? And I pulled the Warren Commission out of my head. Like, no, I have no confidence at all. My faith has been shaken in my own ability for recall. And that's not good for this show. Believe me, I need to recall fucking everything for you guys. So I fucking, yeah, I chili dipped that. So I hope I didn't chili dip Warren's name. And then I'm like, well, is it Will? And then now I feel like Jim Carrey and fucking Dumber. Slimmy, Slappy, Samsonite. I was way off. Chappie, Hoover, Happer, Hoover. I was way off. So it's Paul Cheever. That was the man who helped us. And considering his events that weekend, considering the how above and beyond he went, I'm going to call him Paul Cheever. should probably call him Paul Overachiever. I should throw an in there as well, which is usually I'm not averse to throwing in an as you know, folks. I throw that in. That's my version of That's my one-word version of folks. There's an I didn't even mean for that to show up. Folks, I'm a little skittish today. I won't lie to you. I'm a little thrown. I'm a little up in the air because we're on a time constraint today, folks. We're on a time frame. I got so many words to spill out of my head today. I'm sorry. I don't have enough words to spill out of my head. I'm sorry. I don't have enough time to spill all of the words that I want to spill out of my head. So we're going to have to truncate it, folks. We're going to have to squash it down. We're going to have to go tiny, small. This show's in a box. This show's in a tiny box like Madonna in the Human Nature video. That's how squished we are, folks. And I'm wearing the exact same outfit. I love that song. You know, I just built like an iPod playlist and I was throwing stuff in there and I just grabbed like all my Madonna and threw it in there and it comes up and I'm like, I still like this stuff. If you haven't heard it in a while, it's really, I mean, it's fucking good. It was great fucking pop music. It was really good. And also, I love the later stuff. I think Ray of Light is a fucking great song. Love that song. Human Nature is a great song. Dude, Beautiful Stranger, which was off the like one of the Austin Powers fucking things. That's a great song. God damn it, it's awesome. Madonna, call me. She ain't gonna call me, dude. I could never meet her in the middle. Like, because we always joke about how I'm gonna meet a celebrity on their way down while I'm on my way up. And first of all, the joke in that is that I'm on my way up. But second of all, because remember I was like, eventually we could all get them, right? Like I could get Pamela Anderson eventually if things go wrong and she gets tired of fucking sheiks. Because you know that's what she's doing. She's going over to fucking Saudi Arabia and just lying down on pillows and getting used, right? Isn't that her gig now? I think. Who watches their kids when that happens? Does the sheik have like a rumpus room for children?
They're in the room.
The kids are in? They pay extra. Everybody pays extra if you want to watch. Actually, you're supposed to pay if you want to watch. But come on, the sheiks, they got disposable cash. They're like, bring in children.
Make them watch.
No, not make them. Let them. Because that's what the kids are. Come on. Like they haven't seen the Tommy tape? Please.
Oh my.
Come on. Like they haven't seen the Brett tape? Come on.
Oh my.
Pam's not exactly hiding it, is my point. But yeah, man, I threw in the Madonna stuff and it was really good. I had a
Do it. Do it. Do it.
when I was a kid. Fuck.
Really?
Well, I will change names. Let's do that. I was in school, and there was a girl that I shared a table with in a class, and I have no idea why, but she liked me. I don't know why it turned that way. Because there were other girls like I thought they might like me. Like, and I have no game now. I certainly had no game then. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Because again, I was just a dumb ass virgin. I spent my time biting chicks. That's what I did. Like when Sean and I fucking gnawed on one another. You know, that was the girl I went out with, and she was fucking black and blue by the end of it. All right, so, but I'm a biter, folks. I think I've told you guys all that. So, and I like to be bitten. So, you heard that in a song that I recorded once. Oh, and you know what's funny? All right, I'll tell you this. Remember, keep me on track. You're in charge.
No.
There was a song because we did the interlude last year, and there's these segments where Mex is like, "All right, dude, I'm just gonna play, and you can do like a breakdown, like a hot girl breakdown, like so you're gonna like flirting with a girl. It'll work." And I was like, all right, cool. So then I just made up a bunch of shit in the moment. He's like, play it serious. And I'm like, so then I made up a bunch of dumb stuff where I was like, ladies, I'm a biter and I like to be bitten, and so half of that stuff was sort of true. But it was influenced. The reason we came to that was there was a song called Float On by the Floaters. And the first time Mex played it for me, I could not stop laughing. Like, I think I started crying. I was laughing so hard because it's just 5 dudes and they just sound like idiots. And it's like, Johnny, and I'm an Aries, and I love a girl who eats soup. You know what I mean? Just those stupid things. And the best one is this guy goes, it's still, when it came out of the speakers, I may have blurt laughed loudly enough to shatter windows. I mean, it was so crazy because he just goes, cancer, and my name is Larry. And then the chorus of it is, because they start singing about what to do, and then he goes, go to Loveland with Larry. I think it was go to Loveland with Larry. It's fucking terrible. So it's always been this private joke with Mex and I that Float On is this, because again, I had never heard it. I didn't know anything about it. I had no touchstone with it. It's a soul song from the 70s. So then I was in my car once, and on XM Sirius, they play old Casey Kasem countdown shows, which is amazing. It is America's Top 40. So you get to hear, there's all the hit songs, but then you hear these fucking one-hit wonders that you haven't heard in fucking forever. And they're 70s and 80s, and they play them at certain times on the radio, on Sirius XM, on the 70s station and the 80s station. So all of a sudden one day, he's like, number 22 this week, and I hear the fucking song, and I'm in my car, and I'm like, I could not stop laughing because it was the fucking Floaters. And I'm like, they charted with this fucking song? Because I'd never heard it. I had no touchstone with it at all. And to hear fucking Casey Kasem trying to say, it's the Floaters. And he's trying to describe who they were and what they did. And I'm like, did they ever have another hit song? They're fucking terrible. So I fucking blasted it. I was just like in my car, and I'm like, Cancer! And my name is Larry. That's awesome. So it catches me by surprise, but I'm so delighted by it because it's a song I had no idea it existed. And then we did the parody of it for the interlude. So then this week, out of the fucking blue, there's a guy who listens to the show. His name's Thomas Tate. And I think I met Thomas in Georgia. Or no, he couldn't come to the Georgia show. He couldn't come to Atlanta. But he wanted to. He's in Georgia, whatever the fuck. But he puts up just the phrase, I'm an Aries and I like girls who dance. And with the link to the Floaters on YouTube. And I because I came in late, I just saw that, and when I read it, I'm like, no fucking way, because it said, you've been tagged in a post by David Hernandez. So I went, and I saw that, and I went, no! And then I read what David wrote, and David just goes, and Thomas, you have now just found the influence for the breakdown segments in last year's interlude. Congratulations. And I just wrote, no fucking way. Because, again, I didn't think anybody in the world had heard it besides me, Mex, and Casey Kasem, honestly. But Thomas Tate unearths the Floaters. Float on. God damn it, it's awesome. It's so bad. All right. So what were we talking about? I don't even remember.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I got lost. All right. Well, eventually we'll come up with it at some point.
An entire blank page.
Oh, I was looking for a minute. Usually Lily holds up a pad.
No, I'm just listening to you right now. Nothing.
Lily's job is she takes notes and she tells me where we're at, and she kind of thinks of possible titles for the show. She just held up a blank piece of paper. So I looked at it. I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you giving me a time count? Because I don't see one on there. Are we at 28 minutes and 6 seconds? Because I see those numbers on there. No, that's episode 28, year 6, Mike. So Dirty Lily is not doing her job, folks. A little disappointing. Or is that Crazy Lily? Was Crazy Lily? I don't know why you want to be just Lily. You're letting down the Hoove. He so wants you to be Dirty Lily. He's writing a song for the new Cheever album called Dirty Lily. And now you're going to let him down. Now you're going to be just Lily. What's that? That's a test pattern. That's all that is. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be plain. You want to be Dirty Lily. Or Crazy Lily. Which you prefer, honestly. Because again, that's what I was saying. If you focus group this show in Canada, that's what I was saying, God damn it. If you sit people down for this show, if you sit down a focus group, if you go say you go to Toronto, and you talk to our friend Adam, and you find our friend Catherine, and maybe Valkyrie comes over, and our friend Scott, and Michael, or I never know if it's Michael or Michelle. Michael Woods. I think it's Michael, but he spells it Frenchy. It's, you know what, it's like, because the eye has a mustache.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
The eye has a handlebar mustache, so it's Frenchy. So you get them in a room, and you start asking them questions. And then you say, you know what, this isn't enough. I need to get some more people in here. And you start looking around. You start canvassing for more people in Canada to talk to. Actually, you bring up our friend Leanna from Buffalo. You're like, Leanna, come on up. We need some Americans in this Canadian fucking focus group. Get up here. And you get our friend John from Boston. Johnny Floor. He comes up. He joins the focus group. Now we got a show. Actually, that's as many tickets as I've sold in Milwaukee, quite frankly. So then you get a focus group. And you sit them down and you say to you, listen, we have a question. You listen to the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. We're going to give you 2 adjectives. There's 2 people involved in the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. One of them's on microphone, one of them's a producer. Now, we're going to give you 2 adjectives, and you ascribe each of the people one of the adjectives. The adjectives are dirty and crazy. Which is which on the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast? What do you think people are going to say? Are they going to say, I'm Dirty Mike and you're Crazy Lily? Absolutely not. I'm crazy, you're dirty. I'm Dickens, he's Fenster. That's the way it works, goddammit. I'm Shields, you're Yarnell. I'm Holmes, you're Yo-Yo. I'm Donnie, you're Marie. I'm Abercrombie, you're Fitch.
No.
Yes, this is the way it works.
No.
I don't like you disagreeing with me. Dirty Lily.
I'm not Dirty Lily.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
But then pick a name. So you're going to be Crazy Lily.
Just Lily. Why do I have to be dirty or crazy in this
Because we're a
scenario?
team, because we're riding fucking side saddle and shotgun. I'm driving the motorcycle, you're in the little car that's attached to it, and we're going town to town.
I'm not in that little car.
Yes, you are. You got fucking aviator goggles on?
Hollow car with a microphone and a camera.
Nah, man, we're like the two fat ladies. We're like the two fat ladies. We drive to town and we cook for firemen. We cook like weird food, like herring. That's what we do. We show up and we cook up a verbal herring for everybody every goddamn week. We're the two fat ladies of podcasting.
I do not like any of these scenarios.
But it's not like you're fat, a fat lady. You're a lady, and I'm the fat. See, if you all right,
Look, herring.
if you focus group this show and you sit people down, if you go to Montreal and you sit down Angelo, our friend Angelo up there, and then you go to Toronto and you bring some of those people over, like a Catherine, you bring over and her friend Vroom, and you bring them all over and you sit them down and you ask them questions and you're like, all right, if we were to describe, we're going to give you 2 words and you ascribe them to the hosts of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast, to the people involved in it. What would you say? The words are fat and ladies. Who would get what? You would be the ladies. I'm the fat. It's okay.
I don't know about that either.
Trust me, it's totally true.
You're ladies.
I'm not ladies. What does that mean?
Ladies.
I gotta stop being ladies. I'll be honest with you, because I am kinda. I mean, I get that, but I was raised by my mom, so I'm half a chick, as I always say, and I fall hard, like with an anchor around my neck anytime something. I can't get into it. But I mean, I'm that guy. So yeah, I'm, and I don't mind. I'm firmly in touch with my Michelle side. Of course I am. Why not? Because well, you just can't tell my Michelle side to not erupt sometimes. Sometimes it shows up. You know why? Because my daddy works in porno because mommy's not around. She used to love her heroin, but now she's underground. Come on, that couplet is great. You know who wrote that? 6 junkies who lived in a storage space wrote that, and it's fucking genius. Genius. And now they're millionaires, multimillionaires. Well, hold on. 2 of them are multimillionaires. One of them is probably still a millionaire. One of them is probably also still a millionaire. And the other one is blowing guys for change. That'd be Steven Adler. So he's firmly in touch with his Michelle side as well. Look at Adler. Adler's coming through. That's who you want to hang out with. All right. But you and I, we hop in the motorcycle. We drive around. You're in the sidecar. You get your aviator glasses on. You get your fucking Elton John hat on. Perfect. Rolling from town to town, bringing entertainment to people. Stopping in and cooking some sort of sauce. Look at us. We're bringing podcast sauce to the masses. You don't like anything. Because your head's in the burlesque festival now. Like, you don't even want to do this. You're just like, oh, boo. How liberating would it be for you to just leave behind your troubles, leave behind your burlesque festivals, leave behind your bills, and you and I just buy an old schooly motorcycle and drive town to town and entertain the masses? God damn it. The masses is strong. Entertain 1 or 2 people in each town. We would go into a store and look, first of all, we would come in like raconteurs. I would have a fucking scarf around my neck. You would have the big goggles on, and people were like, who are these dodgy boats? And I'd say, you know what? It's a couple of fine people. That's right. That's some sort of English language I learned from a long time ago. Dodgy boat means dodgy face, or ugly face. It's a dodgy boat on that bird. That's what we would say. We would talk like an old-timey English, but with American accents. We would use English vernacular, but with American accents. Hey, that's a fine little bit of crumpet on that dodgy boat. Don't you think there, Crazy Lily? And you would go, yes, Dirty Mike. And then everybody would go, no, she's Dirty Lily. You're Crazy Mike. They would know the second we drove into town. Yes? Because you've got nipple rings that jingle, jangle, jingle.
Are we going to have to change the name of the show to Will Podcast for Food?
I don't understand what you're saying.
How are we going to make money traveling from city
Busking?
to city?
We will set up a desk. We'll sit down. You'll have your laptop and you'll record me. We'll do like on-the-spot live podcasts, and people can be paying to be interviewed by a celebrity.
And will the generator that we carry with us run on vegetable oil, or how is that going to work?
I don't like your naysaying of this plan.
I'm just trying to figure out how the...
Look, I know you're the brains of the outfit, but turn them off for just a second. We're unleashing bees right now. Let let the squirrel in your wheel, or whatever the fuck you got up top, not kill my bees. You know what you have in your head? You've got a guy in a bee suit with that fucking bellows, and he's spraying smoke at my bees. Don't try to knock down my bees, goddammit. My bees are flying all over. Look at the plan I'm making. We're going to buy an old-timey motorcycle. We're going to drive from fucking town to town and entertain everybody. It's going to be great. We're going to be like Kung Fu, but on motorcycles. And with no Kung Fu, but with talking. That's what we're doing. We're verbal foo. That's who we are. We're fucking climbing on a fucking sidecar and a motorcycle, driving town to town with scarves and goggles on, and we're going to show up and make people laugh. We're not going to fight them. I'm not going to snatch the pebble from anybody's fucking hand. I'm going to show up and fucking crack them up. And you know what? But I'm still going to call myself Kane. But what's your name? And I say, my name's Kane, baby. That's right. It's a solid point. I should have thought about that. As we know, alliteration always makes things acceptable. So I will go with Crazy Kane.
Then I'm Dirty Lily.
Yes, you are. Embrace it.
I'm Dirty
Own it.
Grasshopper.
Dirty Grasshopper and Crazy Kane? Perfect. Crazy Kane and Dirty Grasshopper.
Wait a minute, I am not going.
Yes, you are. Don't pretend like you're not. I don't understand why you're trying to divorce us right now because you are in solidly. You are honed in. Turn off the bellows. Stop blowing the smoke at my bees. My bees are swarming you in and you're getting souped up. Yes.
It's not a bellows. It's a girl in a visor hat with a calculator going, how are we going to eat?
We will eat. We will make it happen. Come on. Eating's for the weak.
Yeah.
You and I both know that as you eat your chocolate-covered pretzels in my face and taunt me with them.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Let's do that. She opened a bag of flips, and I'm like, why are you opening flips? It's crazy. She goes, they're my favorite thing in the world. I just must. And then she ate them. She's like, they don't taste so good because I'm like sick. And I go, well, give me one. She's like, no. I said, what? She goes, you have to eat two. I went, really? She goes, yeah, you have to eat two. So I did. So I ate 2 flips, and then I ate 3 more flips. So I'm sitting here with 5 chocolate-covered pretzels.
You ate an odd number?
Yeah, was I supposed to eat more?
Yes, you have to eat them by 2s.
Why?
Okay,
Oh,
candy counter, don't
here comes Crazy Lily's crazy. I want to hear all about this. Let's go. Bring it to the forefront.
No, eating by 2s is Dirty Lily's thing, not Crazy Lily.
Okay, I get that. That's fine. So I'm supposed to eat 2 things?
You have to eat 2 at a time. It's
No.
like M&Ms, you have to eat 2 of the same color at a time.
Wow. So I'm not alone. That's good to know.
We know this. We know this.
God damn it. That's fucking perfect. Oh, look at that, folks. See, I'm not alone in this. There's
But you are. I am not going.
no, it seems I'm not alone in being alone. There's 100 billion, well, I'm sorry, 200 billion 2x2 bottles washed up on the shore.
I like that song.
That's a good song. I enjoy that song. I like Sting. He's Dune. I don't know if you know where that. He's Dune. Was he Dune? Who was he in that? Rigel 7 or Craig 4? I don't know. He's Logan's Run. I don't know. I don't know science. I don't know if any of that is science either. So yeah. So all right. So that's the plan. We're buying an old timey motorcycle. And we're going all over fucking town. Crazy Kane and Dirty Grasshopper. Done. Perfect. Folks, let's get to this. While I'm still in California, I have to remain observant. I have to be vigilant, and I have to tell you about things that have happened here before we continue with our big road trip. Before we even start.
No road trip.
Before we start our big road trip.
No road trip.
Well, I have a road trip coming up. I'm getting on a plane tonight. That's one of the reasons why I'm here doing the show on a very early hour, a very early time, and a very early day in the week. I'm here doing this show because I am on a plane tonight to Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm not flying to Green Bay because that would mean I would have to land on cheese, and I'm not. You know me, I'm not a cheese guy. So I'm flying to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then heading to Green Bay for the show this weekend. Hey, you should buy a ticket or 2. Here's what I put on my Facebook page. Hey, buy some tickets so this doubles tennis match turns into a pickup basketball game. It's going to be a lonely night in Green Bay, folks. But I'll have merch to sell to whatever hobos happen to wander through Green Bay. Because, again, it's cold there, man. So there may be hobos who just want to come in to keep warm. I'll do a hobo-based show. It's perfect. Because, which makes sense because I'm dressed like a hobo half the fucking time anyway. Right now, I am wearing hobo clown pants. And I don't think that's an exaggeration, folks. And by the way, let me share you some hobo-based humor with you that I did this week, and I was so proud of it. On Twitter, if you don't know this, you can follow me at twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. If you follow me there, you will notice that I do jokes sometimes, and I will write them. And if you also follow on Twitter, if you go on Twitter, you will get sometimes promoted messages from like companies. So the other day, I was at my desk, and I got a promoted message from SpaghettiOs, which is a children's food. Nicely done, by the way. I was just going to blaze through it, but I was like, I got to acknowledge it because it was too good. Because again, literally, folks, she had no idea I was going to say that. And the second I said it, that's how quick she is. That's how quick Dirty Grasshopper is. So she was right there with the
I'm starting to get on board.
Yeah, see?
Grasshopper.
Right. This is going to work. So stop. So I got a tweet from SpaghettiOs, which again makes me laugh because I know that everybody thinks they have to be there on social media. SpaghettiOs is food for children. Who are you reaching on Twitter? Who, if any one of you, if any of you reach double digits in age and used a can opener to open your own can of Chef Boyardee or Franco-American something, just plunge that can opener right into your fucking neck and cut your head off your own shoulders. Because that food is that is poor white people sitting around food. As I've mentioned before, that Franco-American yellow spaghetti is fucking disgusting. Anything Chef Boyardee makes. I remember even as a kid thinking, because you know, they show that picture of him. He looks German to me. not fucking Italian. And so I made up a whole backstory where Chef Boyardee was like a Nazi who had on the run, and then he had come up with this horrible blend of food, and then he had put it out under the guise of being Italian because it was a way to punish the Italians for losing their side of the war. So Chef Boyardee was actually a German guy who posed as an Italian chef to sully the name of Italian chefs everywhere, to punish them for them not holding up their end in WW2, in the big one, folks. I don't think that's a reach on my part, and that's not bad for the kid at 11. But still, man, fucking raviolis and the fucking, what else did they make? Any of that shit. So SpaghettiOs are disgusting. And I can still, right now, I can still feel the texture of a SpaghettiOs meatball in my mouth from when we'd make them and I'd eat them. Because there were SpaghettiOs and then there were SpaghettiOs with meatballs because, you know, your mom got paid that week. And she'd cook them and then you get that meatball and you'd bite it and it tasted like eating a fingertip. I mean, it was just like so fucking nasty. I hated it. Could not stand it. So the tweet came from SpaghettiOs. I don't know who they think they're reaching. What adult is going, oh my God, of course, I forgot all about SpaghettiOs. I need to spend 71 cents on a can today. But again, with the economy turning around, maybe SpaghettiOs making a comeback because everybody's so poor and broke and they're fucking terrible. Maybe they all like horse meat and fake noodles. I don't know. By the way, you remember Horse Meat and Fake Noodles? That's a terrific band. I saw them up for the Zach Brown band at the Hollywood Bowl just a week ago. So good. Horse meat and the fucking, I can't even do it. All right, so horse meat and the fake meatballs. I'm sorry, folks. This is for me. All of this is for me. Folks, you have no idea how much I've talked today. So so I'm just trying to catch my head and fucking, and this is the show. You know what? This will be the show they play for the focus group too, and that's going to be fucking terrible for both of us. Haha. Oh, holding up the blank piece of paper, not blank anymore.
No, there's all sorts of
scrawlings. So SpaghettiOs puts out a tweet, and it said, "Hot, cold, or right out of the can? How do you like to eat your SpaghettiOs?" And so I retweeted them, and I answered, and I wrote, "Depends. Am I still at the shelter or back out on the street?"
Holy shit, how did I miss that?
And sadly, I did not hear from SpaghettiOs. I thought for sure they would contact me with some sort of outreach of help. Perhaps a lifetime supply. Or at least a warm bed to sleep in at night. But they did not respond, sadly. So, fingers crossed, I may still hear from SpaghettiOs at some point. It might just take them a while to go through their feed. But I was so proud of it because it came up and that was literally the first thought I had is bang, fired it off. Twitter's fun when you just fire stuff off. When you got to sit there and think of a draft and like, because I'll do that too. I'll do that paralysis by analysis thing where I'll think of a tweet and then I'm like, well, wait, it's got to be worded just so because it's going out to so many people and I don't want them to fucking go, oh, he did this wrong. And so I sometimes I'll sit there and I'll fucking play with it a few times, but sometimes you just come up with one and just fucking fire it off and you're like, yep, that was great. By yourself in your house and nobody notices at 4 a.m. Yep, that was great. And you look around and you go, yeah, I need to go sleep in a chair because I'm divorced. That was the funniest tweet of all time. Oh, it's fucking awesome. I'm going to go eat a yogurt and cry. Why am I firing off these devastating tweets? I got to be busy not selling tickets in Milwaukee. Why did I do that? Yes, it's Green Bay. Thank you, my assistant. So the show is in Green Bay this week, but it's exciting. So how do we even get into SpaghettiOs? I don't even fucking know. Oh, again with the going to the well a third time. Nicely done. So let me tell you this, folks. I alluded to it earlier with something, but this Los Angeles is a strange place. We all know that, right? Things are happening. Crazy stuff is happening all over the place. And nothing that out of the ordinary. Stuff could be happening by you that's just as crazy. But sometimes you stumble into the crazy and you go, oh my gosh. So today I'm on the freeway and I'm coming here to visit our friend Lily and do this show, among other things. And I'm in my car, by the way. I do not have the old-timey motorcycle just yet. Soon. I think I'm going to take Lily out to shop for it with me because,
God, no.
well, you got to find a sidecar that fits you. Folks, you got to stick your Lily in a lot of sidecars before you find the perfect fit.
Oh my God. Grasshopper is out.
Dirty Grasshopper is in. Folks, you got to stick your Dirty Grasshopper in a lot of sidecars before you find one that fits.
No.
So I'm in the Murano and I'm driving and I'm heading down to Lily's house because I live up from her. And I'm driving on the freeway, and I'm driving fast. And I will be honest with you. This thought came into my head, and it's stupid, but I'm going to share it with you because why not? For some reason, I thought of the absurdity of driving in the moment. Because usually you just drive. It's this utilitarian thing, and you just do it to go from place to place. But if you really think about it, you hop in your go-go buggy, and you press go, and you drive somewhere. It's just like the dumbest fucking thing in the world. It's so science fiction, and yet also so hillbilly stupid. Even though the internal combustion engine, I'm sure, is a fascinating construct and something that I couldn't explain in a year. But just to be able to go, you know, because what literally all driving boils down to is I hop in and go vroom vroom. Like that's all you do. It's what a child would do. Because a child would get on a bike and instinctively pedal. Well, you just now get it. Once you know how to drive, you just get into the car, you start it, and you instinctively work the pedals. You just know what you're doing. But when I was on the freeway, for some reason, I was devastated by the absurdity of all of us just vroom, vroom, vroom. Especially the freeway is even weirder because if you're stop and go traffic, then you're kind of getting somewhere. But on the freeway, it's like you're just getting onto a Hot Wheels track and going wherever the fuck you want. You're waiting for the loop-de-loop. All of us are, the only reason we drive, the only reason any of us drive on the freeway is we're constantly searching for the loop-de-loop. That's what we want. Why can't we find the loop-de-loop, folks? So I was awash in the absurdity of driving, where I literally laughed out loud at it because I'm driving and there was a guy and we were exchanging lanes and he rushed past me to just get in front of me, so he saved 2 seconds. But again, I was just like vroom, 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 because when you were a kid, you made those noises and did those stupid things, and now on the freeway, I'm doing them for real, and it's just become part of your life where you don't think about it. But if you actually think about it, again, you hop into your spaceship and vroom, you go. It's amazing. It's an amazing invention, but we all take it for granted, folks. So I'm doing that, and that's the stuff I think about in the car, folks. And I'm driving, and I have to get over because I'm getting off on Lily's Street, Dirty Grasshopper Avenue. So I pull over, and as I'm pulling over, there's a guy going slow. And I can exit from 2 lanes onto Lily Street, and that's my trick. I don't like to go to the far right lane. I like to go to the semi-far right lane because then you can blow past everybody and then cut over a lane.
That's illegal.
No, because you exit both. That's both lanes.
No, you don't. There's only one turn lane.
Well, I'm not turning. I'm just merging onto. No, should I say the name of the street?
On Franklin, yeah.
No. From the highway, I get off at Highland, and then I come.
Oh, I thought you were talking about on Franklin. I'm like,
No. No, that's a turn lane. No, I'm not a jag-off. Trust me, I got to live that fucking hell every day because when I'm going to Travis Barbecue, I will be in that line, and people will pass me, and they'll turn right from the left lane, and you're like, you cunt, what are you doing? It's infuriating.
That's what I thought you were doing, and I'm like, there's not 2 turn lanes there.
No. I'm coming off onto Highland where there's 2 lanes you can exit on. Yeah. So I'm merging over, and I don't like to go to the far right lane because it's going to wind up being a mess. And that's because everybody thinks they have to go there, and then there are people in that lane trying to get over. It's just a fucking screw job. So I want to go. It's a screw job, folks. That's right. Bret Hart is there. Bret Hart and the Montreal Screw Job, which, by the way, is my favorite Encyclopedia Brown novel. So I merge over. I should tell you, I just did Jackie Cation's Dork Forest podcast, and we talked about wrestling, and I need to apologize to you guys because if you're a hardcore wrestling guy, you're going to hate it. Because we talked for 5 seconds about everything that's ever happened in wrestling, but we never got in depth. Like I wanted to get really in depth, but it was me and this guy Andy Peters and Jackie had no clue about wrestling. Her podcast cracks me up because literally she's just like, "Hey, Forest's the Dark Ranger." No, that's not what it is. It's Rangers of the Dork Forest, not Forests of the Dark Ranger. But that's not actually. You remember Forests of the Dark Ranger? I saw them open for Blackmore's Rainbow. That was on the All Night Long tour. Remember we talked about it last week. I see you standing there by the stage, folks. In black stockings and your see-through dress. By the way, went back and watched that video. Could not have been more wrong about all of it. Graham Bonnet's wearing an ice cream man coat, but he's not wearing a white suit. And the girl is not wearing a see-through thing with nipples. That's from another video. She's wearing a sparkly tube top and dancing in like white shorts. So mad that I described that video incorrectly to you folks from 1981. Jesus Christ. Drop back and visit it. I'm sure people went to YouTube and went, "This is a bullshit lie. What the fuck, Schmidt? God damn it, Crazy Kane. Get your fucking 81 videos right." Float on. So, folks, I'm driving and I'm merging over. I'm trying to get over onto the other lane, and but all the way on the far right hand side, I don't want to do it. That's not how I do things. I get into the semi right lane and I merge that way. So as I'm getting over, there's a person there, and they're going super slow. And I debated punching it and getting past them, but I'm like, just fucking relax. 'Cause I'm trying to relax, folks. I'm trying to be that guy on the road now. Because I told you, as I was given a reprieve. Because remember I told you months ago that I ran I absolutely got photographed by a traffic camera. Never got a ticket. Don't know how it worked, but somehow never got a ticket. And in my head, I just went, that's your fucking cue to slow down. People will get their coleslaw when they get their fucking coleslaw. Drive like a normal person. And I do. So I don't like to blaze past people on the freeway. But at the same time, I also want to go 80 on the freeway. Like I do it all the time. I'm not an old man, folks. I don't have a turn signal on right now at this present time, as far as you know. And I will still drive the fucking motorcycle very, very quickly. And Lily will have to hold her hat on in the sidecar.
No, I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah, I said you're wearing an Elton John hat. Like a newsy hat. Like a taxi driver newsy hat. Why are you so sad? This is going to be the adventure of our lives. This is the greatest adventure we've ever been on. You know what? This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're going to lie around here and let it be the worst. Not me. I'm not going to take this. Marmalade, he's a dead man. Wormer, dead. Niedermeyer! Dead. Bluto's right. Psychotic, but absolutely right. I could do that entire movie. Here's what I did when I was a kid.
Bluto in your sidecar. That would be much better.
Oh, he's got to drive. Bluto drives. Bluto. Dirty Bluto? Dirty Bluto drives. Crazy Mike rides sidecar to Dirty Bluto. Hey, they're doing a Belushi movie. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see who got cast as Belushi?
Yes.
I like it.
I'm indifferent. I don't care. Either way.
Emil Hirsch is a good actor. I think he can do it. Did you see Into the Wild?
Yes.
It's fucking sad. He's like a kid and then he eats a flower and dies. It's like, oh my God. It's so brutal. Spoiler alert.
You really should be doing some sort of descriptions of movies.
Really? Film podcast?
Yes.
I want to do the.
Sentence for every movie.
Actually, our friend Rob Matsushita just asked me to do his podcast called 10 Minutes About My Favorite Movie. And I said, I can't. That title is far too long for me to be involved. Literally getting out that title is 9 minutes of the podcast.
What movie?
Well, he hasn't told me yet. I don't know if I'm supposed to do my favorite movie, if I'm supposed to actually pick it, or he wants me to discuss something.
What movie would you pick? God, that is so hard.
Dogs. I got to pick Dogs.
Yeah.
But you know, I've really talked about that so much, but Dogs is my favorite movie. I don't know how closely it adheres to the format. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It's not my podcast, certainly. And I got to be honest with you. If you're asking me to do 10 minutes about anything, good fucking luck. I have no idea why you're inviting me, for fuck's sake. That makes no sense. I don't even get the fucking motorcycle turned off within the first 10 minutes. I got to hop off, get the scarf off, get the glasses off, get the hat off, get the leathers off, change out of the boots and into some comfortable shoes. I'm the Mr. Rogers of motorcycle travel, goddammit. You don't want a fucking piece of me.
Oh my God.
By the time I'm ready and settled in front of the goddamn microphone, we're at 8.5 minutes. And I just go, Dogs, and I leave. That's it. Done. That's 10 minutes about my favorite movie. 8.5 minutes of me disrobing, one of me saying Dogs, and then another minute of me walking out the fucking door. You hear just like Foley editors hitting my foot, just walking footsteps. Jesus Christ. So I don't know. And by the way, I haven't even accepted Rob's offer yet. I may turn him down. What if I did? I talked about it here for 10 minutes. And I can't do it. Yeah, this 10-minute thing, I don't get people with 10 minutes, man. Because I'm also doing another podcast that I just got asked to do. And you and I were going to discuss this. We were sort of discussing this, Lily and I. Should we discuss this on the air? Probably not. No, I don't want to talk about it on the air because then people are going to write in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We were talking about something, and then unfortunately we started the show. And believe me, that's the quote that everybody's saying all across the world. Unfortunately, they started the show. If only they had sat there. I was asked to do another podcast, and I have a choice to make. I got to figure something out. But I don't know what the fuck to do because I have no discipline, and I'm weird, and so I got to figure. They put it in my lap.
Yeah, you never finished.
Right.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it later. But I got to figure out what the fuck to do. I don't know. Look, hey, podcasts, come up with your format and then don't put anything on me. Just let me show up and be funny or talk. That's all I want to do. Don't fucking go, hey, you want to do my podcast? And they go, yeah. And they go, okay, here's your homework. What the fuck, homework? I didn't get into this to have a boss. I don't want to have a fucking boss. Which means I guess I shouldn't do fucking guest appearances everywhere else because that means by proxy they're my boss. And I'm joking. I totally don't mind doing the format for somebody, but also at the same time, I'm not really that much joking because fuck you and your boss. All right. So I got to make a choice. I got stuff to do. But then I did Jackie's podcast. I did the Dork Forest, and we talked about wrestling. And I know hardcore wrestling guys are going to be so fucking mad. And I chili dipped facts and stuff. But it was hard because again, Jackie has no idea about wrestling. So, and all of her podcasts are like that. She's like, hello, Rangers of the Dork Forest. Why am I doing that again? Did I say it right that time? Yeah. Rangers of the Dark Forest, yeah. She's like, today we're going to talk about coasters. And here are my two guests who like coasters. I'm going to have a sandwich. Like, literally, she And she chimes in periodically with stuff about coasters. And it's like, and so she sort of has a thumbnail view of coasters, and it's nice, she lets her guests carry the show because they're the experts, and that certainly makes sense. But when I go on there, I you know me, folks, I need a goddamn podcasting Sherpa. I need somebody with a flashlight. I'm you know who I am? I'm the verbal equivalent of a cat chasing a laser pointer. Like, I mean, I'm just all over the goddamn place where it's like, I'm here, I'm there, because case in point, I have no idea what we talked about. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm sure you're all going to write me and go, dude, there was a story you didn't even finish. Well, of course. Guess what? Every week there's a story that Crazy Kane doesn't finish. I get the wind blowing through my scarf. I can't concentrate. What the fuck? I got Dirty Grasshopper in the sidecar. I'm swarmed by bees. My bees are unleashed. I was going to say on the loose and unleashed. They're on the loosed. That's when Saga would play Scotland. They would change the title to On the Loosed. Hey, Boyo. Tonight she's on the loosed. Is Boyo Scottish? I have no fucking idea. I just made it Scottish. Duncan, tell me. And I don't mean my nephew. I have a nephew named Duncan. That's right. Duncan Schmidt. I think he's Duncan Michael. Because he's named for me, which was out of the blue because my brother, fuck that guy. No, I'm teasing. No, he has like 3 boys and a girl. And one of them is named for, he has 3, again, there's a Douglas Andrew, which is named for my other brother, Andrew. And then it's Duncan Michael, I believe.
So one of your brothers got stiff?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so far. Well, no, his daughter's named Melvin. So he waited. It was his fault. He waited. No, I think 2 of my brothers get stiffed. There's a Duncan Michael, and then there's a Douglas Andrew. And then there's his other nephew, my nephew, his son.
But you won't give that name?
I don't want to.
Why?
And he's actually requested it.
How old is he?
He's 7.
7, and he's requested that you not name him.
Well, he heard the show once and he said, I'm out. I'm absolutely not involved with that. So, but he looks like Lenny. That one. I mean, he looks, because Glenn and Lenny look like my dad, and me and Andy look like my mom, and Scott looks like, I think he looks like my dad. He looks like both. I don't know. Regardless, you guys, everybody's like, really? This is very interesting. We're gonna come to pull up to somebody's town in our sidecar and motorcycle, and then there's gonna have a sign that says, "No, we'll just fucking keep moving." I'm gonna send Brian Dennehy out to chase us to the fucking city limits. So I'm on the freeway, folks, and I'm driving because I do that. And again, I don't know if I've told you this. Driving is strange, isn't it? So, let's put it this way: if I think driving in a car is so weird and absurd, what's it gonna be like when we're on the old-timey bike?
You're not gonna like it.
Fucking bugs in our teeth. I'm gonna look down and a fucking dirty grasshopper just huddled in with her fucking scarf flying and her goggles fucking crazy covered with bugs. Bugs. I felt there needed to be silence there because I really crammed in a lot of noise. I really just kind of let people have it. This has just been an oral assault. Oh, please keep stretching. Why? I don't understand why that makes you angry.
Because you're objectifying me.
Not you. Parts of you.
You're objectifying me.
I refuse to be objectified, says Dirty Grasshopper. So I'm on the freeway driving.
I don't know none of that.
No, you're back in. You're back in just when you think you're out. I'm driving on the freeway, folks. Have I mentioned how weird driving is? Idiot. So I get over to that second lane, and there's a guy slow, and I was gonna beat it past him. I was gonna go, because again, as I've told you, Travis Barbecue has reformed his ways. He can't be driving like a psychopath. I'm not on a light cycle in Tron. I'm just trying to go to a podcast, folks. And even when I'm going to the Travis Barbecue restaurant, I wind up going, oh, dude. All right, let's talk about that for a second. I work at the Travis Barbecue restaurant, folks, as you know. And Saturday night, I was out running some errands because I for some reason, I was off. I worked Sunday night, but I was off Saturday and then Monday, Tuesday to prepare for my trip to Milwaukee. Apparently, I had to submerge myself in a refrigerator to get ready to fucking die out there in the fucking cold. So I happened to be off on Saturday. So I had some errands to run, and I had some things that needed to be cleaned up. So I went out and did those, and I wound up, and I was in West Hollywood taking care of something very important. And so, look, some of you know why I go to West Hollywood, right? You guys are aware of that. Are there lady prostitutes there?
No.
There's gentlemen prostitutes? I don't think I will partake in a gentleman prostitute.
Okay. Just checking.
If there's a gentleman prostitute disguised as a lady,
Maybe.
I may reach for my wallet until I realize what's going on. And then I will thank them for their time and I will move on. And I will look for someone who is more actual lady. Because I will be honest with you, that's what I'm interested in. So,
Prostitutes?
say?
You're interested in lady prostitutes?
I'm certainly interested in any lady, and whatever she chooses to do for a living is her choice alone. I don't want to cast aspersions. I don't want to objectify anyone, as you know. I certainly wouldn't do that. So if she chooses to go ahead and make some money that way, then good for her. And it doesn't mean I have to be a paying customer. We could date. As long as she leaves her switchblade at home. Okay, she can bring it. Who am I to judge? It's on my bucket list, fucking a girl with a butterfly knife. I need to change the grammar of that sentence. I really need to change the grammar of that sentence. Fucking a girl who's in possession of a butterfly knife. How's that? Better? Better for all of you? Because that got gruesome for a second. I mean, I know it's Halloween and all that, but holy shit, that seemed a little rough. I'm not a mannequin on a fucking tricycle. I don't want to fuck anybody with a butterfly knife. I'd like to fuck somebody who might be holding a butterfly knife. Okay? Are we good? That got creepy for a second. Jesus.
Oh my god.
See, this is the perils of talking at the speed of your head. When you unleash the bees, folks, you never know. All these catchphrases for my show that aren't catching on at all with anybody. Which is actually a lie. The bees caught on. Our friend Andrea, you know what? Our Andrea Beezer, I'm going to call her. That's not her real name. Her name's Feezer. But I guess a couple of weeks ago, I kept calling her something else. You know what it was? Hoover. I kept calling her Hoover. But she actually wrote something about the bees on my page today. I'm like, see, everybody loves the bees. Honestly, how many stories have we started that we haven't finished today? It's got to be fucking double digits at this point. So I'm in West Hollywood to see a guy about a cock. Now, specifically my own.
Dirty Mike.
Crazy Kane. As we know, my cock slave lives in West Hollywood. The guy I've hired to. Don't you remember I said that on the show? Yeah, I said it's like I have a guy who's like a cock slave. Like I hired him and he has to do it. He has to fucking do it. If you pay, he's got to take care of it. That's his deal. That's our good friend Renee. Who, it was funny when I posted a picture of the wax place on Facebook, and everybody's like, "What is his name, Luis?" And I think Valkyrie was the one who came through. She's like, "Do you mean Renee?" Or no, somebody else knew it was Renee, and she knew the sex vampire was Ramon. Yeah. Look, folks, we've got a cast of characters here. I'm not gonna lie.
We do. Oh, man.
You know what? We need a couple of sidecars on that motorcycle. God damn it. We got Dirty Grasshopper in one. We got Renee and Ramon in the other. Oh, yes.
No.
So I don't like you arm's lengthing this. I don't like you dismissing and divorcing yourself from the process. You are part of this.
Be in the sidecar.
You can drive then.
No, I don't want to be on the bike at all.
But vroom, vroom, vroom. Come on.
No.
We've all wanted to since we were children.
No.
Literally, my motorcycle is the only thing you don't want between your legs, Dirty Lily.
No, there's a lot of things.
All right.
A butterfly knife.
Butterfly knife, good for you. It's an extensive list. So I'm in West Hollywood, and I have to let my cockslave take a look at what's going on down there, because it's been a while, folks, as you know. And well, maybe as you don't know, there's no Tumblr account that counts down my waxing appointments, although there should be. My favorite part is new people who don't know about that. When I post that picture, when I say something about it, everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I actually got a text. I because I went in to visit our friend Renee, and then he's like, all right, dude, I'm going to take care of this. He's totally gay and totally Latino, and I can't do his accent because I tried to that one show. But I'm going to say this. All right, let's talk about this for just a second. I like Renee a lot. And we had a vote. There was a thing where we tried to decide if I was going to see a man or a woman for the waxing, and it turned out to be a guy, and you guys were like, ha ha. And then I went and saw Renee, and it turned out he was amazing at it. So good for him. So that was my first time I went and saw him. But then I will tell you this, the last time I saw Renee, not this week, but the previous time, because it's been like 6 months easy. No, it might have been 8 months. It was because I haven't gone since Karen bailed. Because out of solidarity for her, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to overgrow the area. My cock was like an abandoned house. I just let the yard get out of control. The tenant left, so I said, fuck it. I'm not even going to take care of the lawn. Boom! There you go. But now I decided, you know what? I got to get some new prospective buyers to take a look at this house. Let's get the yard taken care of immediately. Take the fucking boards off the shutters and open this thing up for fucking business. God damn it, my cock's an open house. Yeah!
Oh, Jesus.
So I said, fuck it. I had let the lawn overgrow. I said, we got to get a landscaper in there to take care of this business because I'm about to show this to prospective goddamn buyers. Yeah! Oh, dude, it doesn't matter how many stories you don't finish as long as you get the one that makes you fucking laugh. So I said, let's get in there and fucking get it taken care of. So I called Renee. I made an appointment. I didn't know he worked Saturdays, but he did. So I showed up on Saturday. And so I go up top. But I tell you, the last time I saw Renee, which is like easily 10 months ago, we'll say, a while ago, he didn't kill it. Like, he didn't do like the best job, in my opinion. But again, it was hard for me to know because, again, I'll be honest with you folks, I'm fat. So it's not like I can actually get a magnifying glass and go over the area or whatever. But then when I was in the shower later, I was like, wait a minute, what's that? Like, there was like, yeah, like I had an ass goatee. It was like, what the fuck? That's not supposed to be there at all. This whole area is supposed to be smooth and gone.
You had an ass goatee?
I may have had an ass goatee.
Oh my God.
And I was disappointed. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to have to go in and shave that myself? Am I going to melt down a candle? Do I have to go sit in fucking glue, like on flypaper, like in the Little Rascals? I have to sit on flypaper and fucking tear it off? Because I was pissed. I'm like, dude, because that was his whole deal. If you remember the first time I saw Renee, he's like, oh, bitch, you can go sit on someone's face, and if they tell you there's one hair, you can come back and I'll give you your money back. And I'm like, all right, great. Well, in this time around, I'm like, that's great, except for the fact that my ass is selling cough drops. Oh, I couldn't even say it. God damn it.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
So I'm in the shower, and my ass is selling cough drops. Renee, what the fuck, man? God damn it. My ass is fucking third lead on Duck Dynasty. Fucking do your job. You got one job. It's to get all the hair off my cock and ass. Guess what? You failed. Because you know what? That's a house, right? It's a house and it's got an overgrown yard. Well, you left a welcome mat. Fuck that welcome mat. Get it out of there. It's supposed to be fucking clean and smooth, damn it. So that was the last time I went. And I'm in the shower and I'm like, God damn it, what is this? It's just, I wasn't happy. I was not happy, folks. But again, I can't, what do? Return your cock? I mean, it's like, I can't do that. And I certainly want to show back up and go, all right, buddy, let's take a second look at this. I mean, it just seems ridiculous, right? Well, normally I would, but I couldn't, because look, I shouldn't be waxing in the first fucking place. So that was the last time I went, like 10 months ago. And then things happened. And again, the house got boarded up. But now it's time to fucking let it go. So I go ahead and I make an appointment with Renee. I go in on Saturday. And when I walked in, because I will tell you this, why not? We're sharing. Who cares? The last time I had been there, he kind of made a remark about how it was harder to do that for big guys. Because, everything's kind of shifting and moving and hiding and all that stuff. You got a lot of fucking skin to work with, unfortunately. So he's like, and so then when I got home, and that's why I felt stupid about complaining about it. Because I'm like, I was like, it was my fault for being fat. You know what I mean? Well, so Vascular and Yoked Mike comes in to get fucking waxed, folks. And, first of all, I parked in West Hollywood, walked out, made eye contact with like 9 dudes. Because, that's the way it's working for me these days. I won't lie. It's weird. It's fucking weird. When you get the confidence, when it starts to come back, when you start to go, when the sun comes back out, you look around and you're like, hey, wait a second. I was Travis Barbecue the other day and I'm in the Murano and I'm in West Hollywood and I pull up and a girl goes to the crosswalk and she's on the phone and I looked at her and she turned around and looked at me and I smiled at her because normally I'll smile. It's just a reflex. But now there's malice behind it. Like I'm smiling with evil intent. Okay. And I just, it's kind of, Well, I mean, there's a difference. There's just a difference. There's a difference between a fat guy just going, yay, and flashing his cherubic fat face at you. And then there's a difference between, like, you know, maybe narrowing your eyes and tipping your head and furrowing your brow. And there's a different look.
Malice? I'm going to hurt you with my
No, not malice. No, please.
You said malice.
Well, I mean, like, there's,
Purpose.
well, when they talk about, yeah, there's purpose, of course.
Not malice.
Well, but you know what I mean. Because when they say people throw punches, with bad intentions,
Yes.
I'm throwing glances with bad intentions.
Okay.
That's what's meant by that.
Not good at all.
No, it is good. It makes sense. Because again, that's all like surface bullshit. You know what I mean? Because then eventually when someone gets to know me, they're like, oh, he had no malice. But I mean, in the beginning, it's just that thing where it's like, because it's, you know, that's the way to do it. So anyway, she's walking through the fucking crosswalk and she's on the phone and she looks at me and she was also, again, folks, she was cute. She was blonde and she was younger. And she walked through and she looked in my car and I kind of like smiled and kind of whatever, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I am. All right. So I did it on reflex, just on accident. And, she stopped in the crosswalk and smiled at me and nodded and she kept talking on the phone. And then she like walked slowly and kept looking at me in the car. So I'm inching up cause I got to turn back and get to work. And I look at her and at that point, see, that's where malice comes in. All right. Cause, I'm dangerous with a look where I'm just like, hey, what's happening? How are you? And then when I get the return look, I'm just, huh? What am I supposed to do now? Because I don't have any idea how to close it. You know what I mean? It's like, because there was a moment there and it was fun, but am I supposed to roll down my window and go, hey, you, I'll be back to pick you up later? I mean, like, what the, hey, good looking. It's so ridiculous because I don't know what to do at that point. Because again, there's a thin line between sharing a moment and, you know, fostering a rape. I mean, it's just. I'm like watering the seeds of rape, and I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to have a rape garden. Certainly not.
Oh my God.
So I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of like, I looked at her and she looked at me and I smiled. And then I kind of inched up because I had to turn right. And when I went to go turn right, I looked at her one more time and she's on the corner and she's still got the phone to her ear. And she gave me that wave, the finger, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. Instead of just like waving, she just like, and like smirk, like smiling. And then I'm like, well, now I gotta pull over, right? That was the wave. That's the wave that means pull over. But again, then I pull over and I get out and I'm like, duh, how are you? Duh. You know, what the fuck do I say? Hey, I couldn't help noticing you stopping in front of my car in the crosswalk and continuing your phone conversation and then looking at me and I stared at you and then you waved at me and this is good, right? We're friends. I mean, so what do you say? I know what the fuck to do. I can't unleash the bees on a chick in West Hollywood. It's not gonna work. Gotta be in a quiet area. Can't be unleashing the bees at a crosswalk. So I fucking turn right. And then the whole time, again, I'm like, God damn, I don't know what happened there. That was fucking awesome. But I also don't know if I was supposed to do something else. Oh, well. Vroom, vroom. So I just drive off. Vroom. All right, so. So. Did you really? Vroom, vroom? All right. It's such a stupid thing when you're in the car because that's all it is. It's just a grown-up version of playing cars when you're a kid. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Except, you know, as a kid, you're not going to murder anybody if you fucking vroom too fast. So I don't know kind of what to do. Yes?
Is that a car or a sex thing?
No, that's a car.
Okay.
Could be a sex thing. It depends. I'll let you know.
That was Dirty Mike or Crazy Mike.
That was Crazy Kane, baby. Come on, Dirty Grasshopper, get with the program. We've already moved on from that.
Oh, Christ.
So, what the fuck was I talking about before I wound up flirting at the crosswalk? Oh, of course, inevitably.
Waxing.
So yeah, so the last time I saw him, I was like, you know, dude. But I didn't want to go back because I'm a fat dude. Oh, and now vascular and yoked, Mike. Oh, so, all right, I'll get to that in a second. So, So I go in for my waxing appointment. I show up, and I walk in. I can't walk in yet. He's got the door locked, because that's how he works it. He locks the place because he's got people in there that are naked and their balls are getting juggled, whatever the fuck. So I'm like, so I knock because my appointment was for 3. I was already late at 3:15, but I texted him and it was fine. Yes, I have Renee's texting if you want it. If you want to go ahead and make an appointment for yourself. I should tell you this. Well, because I called him to make the appointment. And then he called me, and I had to leave a message. And he called me back. He goes, Mike, this is Renee. You can call me back or whatever you want to do. And he hung up. And then he texted me. And it said, Mike, is Renee from Igor Grooming. I want to, you know, if you want to make an appointment, and make sure you hold on to this number. And I wrote him, and I go, are we going steady now, Renee? Because this all seems kind of sudden. And he goes, I'm in for appointments. Smiley face. So good for him. So I show up at 3:15. I knock on the door. It's locked, and he's like, "I'm still busy with someone else, but can you wait on the patio with my gigantic fucking dog?" And I'm like, "Yes, I guess. Ill spit." Again, I like human spit. I don't care for dog spit. But I go out on the porch with this fucking Irish wolfhound, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I should ask him. It looks like, you know what? It's like the dog embodiment of The Quiet Man. That's what it looks like. Just, you know, that movie with John Wayne? It's just this big red Irish fucking dog with no hair, though. It doesn't have any hair. It's like Maureen O'Hara and John Wayne crossed up but made into a dog. All right, so. And so I'm outside and it's fucking jumping on me and I'm like, yay. And I'm trying to tweet brilliance. I'm like on Facebook and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck to do. And then finally Renee comes out and gets me. And he's like, all right, for sure. It's time now for you to go in and get the waxing. I'm like, yes, of course it is. He never said those things, but I don't care. I'm throwing it in there. We walk out and he looks at me and he goes, Mike? And I go, yes. And he goes, don't take this the wrong way. And I said, oh God, what? And he just goes, you look so nice. And I go, that's fine. I go, and he goes, no. He goes, you've lost a lot of weight. And I said, yeah, I kind of have. And he's like, oh, that's very nice for you. Good. It's good. It's good to know. And so I get in and he locks the doors and he's like, all right, get naked. And then I do. And then he says, we start making the small talk. And he's like, what happened? And I'm like, well, you know, I'm good. My wife left. And so I unloaded that on him for a while. And then he told me about his job and his life and his gig and what he's doing. And everything's fine. Everything's going very well for Renee and everything's good for me. And we're happy and he's holding on to my cock and everything's working out perfectly. He's waxing, we're talking, he's talking, we're waxing, he's waxing, we're talking, he's talking, we're waxing. And then the flip comes. And, you know, I got to get, I guess, situated and he's doing things and stuff's happening. And finally, after a certain amount of time, he's like, all right. He goes, well, he goes, done. And he smacks me on the ass, which he always does because that's what he does. And it's like, all right, cool. And so I sit up. And so I'm sitting on the table and naked and I'm about to get dressed. And I look down and, you know, 10 months ago, if I looked down, I couldn't really see much other than gut, which led to me having an ass goatee. So I sit up and I look down and I'm like, wait a second, I'm going to take a look here. And I look down and I see what I have on display and what just got worked on. And I look and the job was incomplete is all I will leave you with, folks. Because I look down and there's my junk and I got a ball beard. And I look at it like a lot. Like he hadn't even, I mean, all right. Let me tell you about waxing for just a second. All right, he gets in there and he has to do all the waxing and stuff. But then certain areas, he's like, this is long, so he has to trim it with a trimmer before he can actually do the waxing. You know this, Lily, because you're an expert in this. So he trimmed that area, but it looked like he never put the wax on it because it just now it was like stubble, but it was like my fucking balls were covered in stubble. It looked like a mussel that you would get out of the ocean. You know what I mean? When they say, oh, you got to remove the beard from the mussel before you cook it. It's like, well, that beard is clearly not removed, so we are not cooking this mussel at all. So I look down, so I grab my balls, and I hold them up, and I'm looking at them, and I'm kind of like, it's so fucking ridiculous. Because also, as you know, that area is pliable and certainly flexible. So I'm holding them in my hand, and then I like kind of bat wing them out, and I'm stretching, and I'm looking, and it looks like I silly putty Dick Tracy in my cock. Because I stretch him out and I'm looking and I can't believe it because it looks like my cock looks like it has a teenager's first mustache. It's like, oh, so fucking bad. My cock has mutton chops. Dude, what the fuck? So I'm holding my balls and then I'm moving my cock around and I'm looking at the air and I just go, Renee. And he goes, yes. And I go, Renee, come here. And folks, I've had some awkward moments in my life. I'm not sure if there have been any more awkward than me holding up my balls to a guy and going, look at this. And so he's staring and I go, come on. I go, Renee, look at this. Your whole deal is, I mean, I only come here once every 10 months. If you're going to do this, you got to do it, man. I mean, down to the bone. You got to fucking just remove this. And he just goes, oh, I am so sorry. Oh my God. And he fucking like crunches his face in. Like he gets like, I mean, like close to look. He's like, oh, and he didn't need to be that close to look, which is fucking weird because I can see it from where I am. But then he fucking like kind of, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Maybe that's the problem.
Oh, then maybe he's dude, you need cock glasses. So he's like, well, move it around, do this, and I'm moving it, and I'm showing him this part and that, and he just goes, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely, and so he had to dive in for fucking round 2. And the whole time I'm like holding my balls, and he's moving them around, and he's trying to wax, and then it's just, he's like, all right, move this way, move that, and now I'm on the team, I'm on the waxing team. What the fuck? All of a sudden, earlier I had a cock slave, and now I'm on the pit crew. What the fuck is this? I'm the driver of this fucking machine, baby. I shouldn't be changing the fucking tires. Get in there and do your job. Get that fucking gun and fucking make some changes. And I love him. Great guy. But it was just like, are you trying to get me out of here because you're in a hurry? Because, dude, this is unacceptable. This is completely unacceptable. And I got to be honest, folks. I never thought I would reach the moment in my life where I was complaining to a guy about the terrible job he did with my cock. But here we are. And so he gets in there and he's fucking ripping it and tearing it and getting everything off. And folks, I've had a lot of awkward moments in my life. One of which I told you about scant seconds ago. And remember when that one I said, well, there's not a lot of things more awkward than this. Brace yourselves. I've had a lot of awkward moments in my life. But we have a new champion, folks. Because I cannot think of a lot of things more awkward in my life than me lying naked on a table holding my own balls. And then my cock slave reaching in and grabbing my balls and going, oh, you've got some big balls, Mr. Mike. Wow. You know what? Just regrow the lawn and board up the fucking house. And put a for sale sign on it. Because this area is condemned. You've got some big balls, Mr. Mike. Oh my God, why would you say that ever? Ever. Even if it were true. I just think he was trying to make me feel good about having messed up, or trying to qualify the fact that there was so much area to work with and that's why he missed the cock beard or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But it was just like so, and the lilting voice, the way he said it, because again, he has a kind of a thing where he's sing-songy a little bit. He's like, you've got some big balls, Mr. Mike. It wouldn't have sounded out of place on a children's show. I gotta be honest with you. There was something wholesome about it. There was something very clean about him saying that, even while he fucking held my fucking balls in his hand. It was brutal. And I remember that I even looked at the ceiling. I go, okay. Like literally, that's all I said. What can you say? Thanks. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. If anybody knows balls, you know balls. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to say? How bizarre is it? The first compliment I've ever gotten while I was naked was from a dude. If that was a compliment. I got to be honest. I don't know if it was, quite frankly. That might have just been a way of saying, hey, you've got old man balls all of a sudden. What happened to you? Don't know. But he fucking put on his diving helmet and spelunked in there and took care of business and fucking went all over the place and went over the whole area all over again. And that's what I said to him. I was like a cop in an 80s movie. I'm like, all right, we're going to retrace our steps and we're going to fucking do this right now. We're not going to leave one stone unturned. And so he just dove in and waxed the shit. And I was on the team. I was on the fucking team. He's like, stretch that and move this and pull this and slide this and move your legs. And I'm like, all right. So I'm twisted up in a goddamn pretzel. I felt like I was at a fashion shoot where they're like, make love to the camera. So, give me that. Give me this. Give me that. All he was just like, about all I heard was balls, 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 balls. And then I'm holding my cock like it's a Muppet. I mean, it was just fucking brutal. I'm moving everything around and then finally he finishes. And now I gotta fucking look. So so awkward. So I'm reaching around, and I reached around. I'm like, I'm everywhere trying to make sure, because I don't want to get shocked by an ass goatee, folks. If there's an ass goatee, it's getting removed right there in the fucking barber shop. I am not taking it home. It's not happening. If I got to have a funny nose and Groucho glasses on my ass, I'm just going to fucking lose my mind. You're going in there and you're take care of it. So, Instead, and it was so, because he's there. So thank God he turned around so I could kind of reach around and see what was happening all over the place. And you know what I did? I did like the bed bug check, but on my own fucking cock. That's what I did. Like I slid my fingers along to see if anything was going to pop out. But luckily the second go around had taken care of everything. I had been strip mined, folks. My cock was the rainforest and everything is dead. As a matter of fact, Sting wrote a song about it. I don't know if you want to hear it, but here it goes.
No.
So yeah, so then I got up to leave. What?
Damn it.
Well, look, I'm quick. I'm not that fucking quick to make up an entire parody song in a second. We did earlier. We did with fucking Message in a Bottle. All right, so then I got dressed and I grabbed my phone, and on my phone there's a text from somebody, and it just says, "What exactly are you waxing?" Because they had seen the picture I put on Facebook, and so I took a picture of myself, not my cock. I thought about it. I really thought about it. Like I'm like, well, why not? But then I go, don't. But instead, I still wasn't dressed yet. I just had my jeans on, so I took a picture just like from the chest up, and I just took a fucking selfie picture, and I just wrote, "Well, it wasn't my chest." I think that answered it. I hope that answered it. I have no idea. But I just felt like a smart ass. I'm like, haha. Well, it wasn't my chest. And then I was with Renee, and then I walked out, and I think, Renee had another person waiting, and they were very nice, and and I left, and Renee's actually leaving. He's going to Russia, for the Miss Universe pageant, because he works for them. He's a fucking,
Professional waxer.
he's the crotch police. Yeah. Because he works for, that's his thing. He's works for them, and also, yeah. So, but I said to him, I go, how are you going to fucking survive in Russia? I go, the second you get off the plane, they're going to throw you in jail. And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, it's not like you can butch it up, dude. I mean, that's not going to happen. And he's like, well, I'm not worried. They told us that there's to stay on the grounds of the pageant and it should be okay. And, not to go out. And he goes, but if they want to throw me in jail, that's fine with those big Russian boys. That's fine with me. And I'm like, oh, Renee. Oh, good for you. So I was like, well, at least I got one of these in before you fucking die. That's fine. Yep. So then I left. I'm downstairs in my car, and I'm old hat at this, folks. The first time I did it, I was all freaked out. Do I got to go home and shower right away? Do I got to scrub up with a buff puff? I don't know what the fuck I got to do. But now I'm like, fuck it, I'm fine. I'm a little sticky. That's about it. So, but I was just running errands, and I had to go home because I'm getting ready for the big trip, folks. As you know, I'm on a plane in like now an hour, so I got to get the fuck out of here. But I left, and I'm in the car, and I get a text from a guy at Travis Barbecue House. He's a driver, and he's like, Mike, I know this is a long shot, but is there any way you can cover my shift tonight? Because my truck's all fucked up. And it was like 5:20, so I would have worked 5 to close. And I kind of liked the idea, because I hadn't been off in like a really long time, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm fried. But I need cash, man. We all need cash. So the weird thing is, I was in West Hollywood getting my fucking cock waxed, and I'm like, well, this is just kind of fortuitous that he would text me from there. So, because I wasn't supposed to work, so I wrote him back and I go, on my way. And then I walked in the door like 6 minutes later, and he's like, Jesus Christ, where were you? And I go, dude, I was right up the street. It was ridiculous. He goes, what were you doing in town? And I go, I was right up the street. I was right there. I was right on Larrabee. He's like, what were you doing on Larrabee? And I was on Larrabee. Anyway, so what's wrong with your truck? Because I don't think they need Mike to come in and start talking about how his cock had just been waxed. I don't think they're ready for that at Travis Barbecue. But the best part of it is, by not telling him what I was doing on Larrabee, there's fucking Revolver. I mean, it's like, there's 2 gay bars right on the corner. Yeah. So it basically says, hey, I was having a beer with some guys. I was having a cock with a fella. And then anyway.
I was having a cock with a fella.
That's it. I stopped for a cock. Anyway, I tried to avoid the subject, and he was very nice, and then he split. So I was working. And it's been slow at work a little bit. So when it's slow, you just kind of hang out. There's a couple of rooms that the drivers hang out in. Or you can hang out by the register, just kind of hawking and waiting for a fucking delivery. So I never do that, because I hate hanging out by the front, because then you got to talk to people and whatever the fuck. And you're in the way. I don't want to be in the way. I just want to go sit in a room and stare at my phone. So, but I just happened to be by the register. And it's right by the front door, and people walk in, and I can help seat people if I want. But there was enough girls, and it was slow enough to where I didn't have to get involved. Like I said, I'm literally just reading my phone. So people came in, and I looked up, and I saw this person, and I was like, this happens to me a lot, where I just go, and I don't know if it's just fucking me seeing ghosts, but I'll see people that look like Karen all the time. They'll just because I'll see the general outline of her hair, and I'll go, wait a minute, and I'll do a double clutch, or I can see like a shoulder, and I'm like, oh, that's okay, and although not her legs, because I'll be honest with you, nobody had Karen's legs. So I was at the doorway, and I looked up, and they had just walked in the doorway, and there was sun behind them. So it was two people about to be seated, and I looked, and I go, whoa, she kind of looks like Karen. And then my eye adjusted to the sun, and I said, that looks like Karen's necklace. And then I saw the boots, and I went, and she turned around, and it was fucking Karen. She came in to eat with a friend, a girlfriend. Or this story is really awkward. And again, I don't care. She should be doing that. I hope I met 100 dudes. That's fine. Good for her. Whatever she wants, whatever makes her happy. But it just seems so ridiculous that she would be there, because we had talked about trying that place, she and I, when we were together, because we had heard great things about it, and she loves ribs, and so I was all about trying barbecue. I actually stopped in there a couple of times to maybe take takeout, and then I didn't. But another reason we never went is because Lenny worked there. So we knew Lenny worked there, so we didn't want to go in and deal with that awkwardness of him being there and us not talking, and then it was just weird unspoken shit in the air. But she came in with her friend to eat, and I saw her in the doorway, and I was like, Jesus Christ. I gasped. I actually gasped. I was like, because I didn't, I haven't seen her in a month, or not even 2 months since we did the taxes. And I haven't talked to her. It's not like we talk ever. So, and she doesn't live here. I know she doesn't live in this area, or at least she didn't. Maybe she moved again. I haven't talked to her in 2 months, but it was fucking freaky. And so then she got seated, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And part of me was going to go, I said, just go walk over and say hi, because obviously she knows you're here. That's the only reason she's here. But that can't be right. She likes barbecue. She likes ribs, and she wanted to try that place. And I would be arrogant to think that she had come to see me. Why the fuck would she come to see me? It makes no sense. So I let her sit down, and I tried to just stand there and look at my phone, and I kept wondering what to do. And I would look up and look over at her, and she's just looking at the menu, and she's talking to her friend. And I wanted so desperately to tell everybody, hey, that's my wife. Like, it was so odd, because it was such a weird place to be in. Because again, nobody there knows anything about me. They just know I'm Lenny's brother, and now they know I'm a comedian, because I have to go out of town sometimes. Then I look over, and she's looking up, and she's looking over toward the register, and I know she saw me. She had to. But, I've lost a ton of weight, even in the 2 months since I've seen her. But there's no way I can look that different, right? There's no way I can look that differently. It makes no sense. So, but she looked up, and I looked up, and then, like a child trying to be noticed, I walked all the way across the restaurant, and I got a glass of water, and then I walked all the way back and stopped parallel to her table and checked my phone, waiting for her to say something or call me over or anything, and she didn't. And I don't even know what I would have done. I would have said hi or bye, or honestly, I wanted to ask her why the fuck she was there, quite frankly, even though that was none of my business, because she can live her life and do whatever the fuck she wants now. But I didn't know why she was in Hollywood. I don't know if she was in that restaurant. I don't even know why she was at the fucking table. I don't know why she's on this planet. And I'll tell you this, as much weight as I've lost, she's done the same. She looked pretty fucking good. So I walked over to the register and waited, and she never said anything. And so 15 minutes goes by, and I approach a couple waitresses, and I said, hey, there's a table, and there's a woman with glasses and her friend. They're up by the window. And one of the waitresses says, yeah, that's my table. And I said, have they ordered yet? Did they order anything? And she goes, yeah, they placed an order, but then they changed it, and so I'm making the change now. And I said, all right. I said, I want to buy their dinner. And she said, really? And I said, yeah. I go, that's my ex-wife. And she goes, oh my gosh, really? Did she see you? And I go, I have no idea. I don't know why they're here. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And she laughed. And I said, but I want to take care of their dinner. And she goes, okay. I said, but, it depends. And she goes, well, they've just completed this order. I go, okay, it's fine. I go, but you got to tell her at the end of it, don't tell her yet, but when they're done eating, just tell her Michael took care of it. And they go, okay, tell them Mike took care of it. I go, no, Michael, that's important. And she goes, oh, and I go, she'll know who that is. She goes, okay. And also, it was funny to say ex-wife, because that's the first time I ever said it. And it came out odd. I mean, I said it okay, but in my head it sounded wrong. It just sounded wrong. Because I think I told you, that was the one thing I never wanted to be. I never wanted to be an ex anything. But here we are. So she said she would take care of it. I said fine. And then 2 deliveries came in, and they were for me. And I was actually kind of bummed because I wanted to stick around and see what the fuck was going to happen. But then I was like, well, maybe I'll be back in time. And I grabbed the orders and I walked out. And when I walked out, I had to walk past her window where she was sitting, and she looked up, and I know she had to see me. But then it's that thing where if she's really there legitimately just to have barbecue, she's not looking for me. Just like I wasn't looking for her. It took my eyes time to adjust to her and who she was and what she looked like, and it took boots and a necklace to seal the fucking deal. So if you're not looking for me, I could just be any other big giant wall in a black shirt that moves by. I'm just a shape in the night. So I blazed by the window, and I lingered a bit. I won't lie. I did a little stutter step, and she didn't say anything, and so I got in my car and I left. And I came back. She was gone. And I went to the waitress, and I said, what happened? And she goes, no, we took care of it. Everything was fine. And she said they were shocked. I said, she was genuinely shocked, or because I thought she knew that I was there in my head. And she goes, no, I told her that Michael had taken care of it, and she actually kind of went slack-jawed, and she's like, what? And then she said, no, Michael took care of your dinner. And she said, oh, all right, well, thanks. And she said she was still puzzled, and then when she took the check and told them that was fine, and she said that Karen and her friend got up, and they walked into the back, like toward the restaurant, and they peeked in like a back room, and then they walked around they were looking for me, essentially, and then didn't see me. And then they left. And so I I told her thanks, and I paid the bill, and she wouldn't let me tip her, which pissed me off. I go, my wife's a good tipper. She would have tipped you, so let me tip you. And she's like, no, come on, you're my friend, you work here, and so that was nice. But then, I don't know, like an hour and a half later, I just got a text from Karen, and all it said was, thank you. And I don't know what I expected. I just didn't expect the abruptness of thank you. But that's where we're at. She doesn't owe me any more than that. There shouldn't be any more of an exchange than that. I don't know what I expected. But, it's funny. I always joke about the things that worked with us, and, there are a few. But one of we always went out. We'd always go out to restaurants or to dinner together, and that's where we spent most of our time. And that was actually a failure of mine, because she would have rather done other things. There were plenty of other things she would have wanted, but I always we went to a restaurant, and that's what we did. We became foodies, I think, because I wanted us to. It wasn't that important to her, but she did it because I wanted to do it all the time. And so a lot of our anecdotes and a lot of our stories and a lot of our experiences are in restaurants and are from the times that we went out together. And I remember all of them. We had favorite places. There were places where people knew who we were and they knew we were together. And there are places I can't go anymore because people ask. And it's just easier not to answer. And it's just easier not to go. So the irony was not lost on me that the one time she chose to go to a restaurant and enjoy herself, I still haunted her. I still was there. And I still swooped in and I still took care of the check. And I still made sure that she knew that I had done it. Because that was the thing. I could have just done it anonymously. But I still made sure that she knew that I had done it. Because because it was important for me that she knew. Because that was really all I ever wanted to do was we dragged her to restaurants and we did this and we did that. And so to get the text of thank you, it said everything it needed to say. Thank you. She's not going to go crazy over it. There's no reason for her to elaborate. It was just thank you because that's where we're at and that's who we are. But we still have a past. And we still have memories, or at least I do. So I couldn't just text back, "You're welcome." So I grabbed my phone and I just wrote, "You're welcome, Steve Perry." And I hope she laughed. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/The40-Year-Old-Boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/The40-Year-Old-Boy. You can find our friend David Hernandez, who does all of the artwork and the music for this show and does it spectacularly well, and may have something for you a little later in this evening's show, or morning, depending on when you're listening. I don't know when you're listening to this show. But you can find him at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez to be his friend and send him notes and tell him how great he is. Or if you'd like to hire him to do some work, some sort of storyboarding or drawing or painting or anything, some sort of logo work, he'll come and work on your hot rod dragster with you if you'd like. You can write him at artbydmh.com, or not write him, you can go visit his website. That's artbydmh.com. You can see all of his storyboards, all of the great things that he's done in the past, and get a hint of the things he will do for you in the future if you can pay him enough. If you want to be our friend, Lily Von Stupp's friend, go to Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. You can follow her at several different Twitter accounts. She is at Twitter.com/MNTs, Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, and Twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. But if you'd like to write her a personal note and find out her neck size so you can knit her a scarf when she's in the sidecar as Dirty Grasshopper, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Joe business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Joe business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Joe business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Don't tell me that you haven't bought the big angry. Not yet. Buy it at your business. Look at that kick-ass art for sale. Tweaked audio just cannot fail. Buy it at your business. Hey, the Schmidt, it comes alive. He'll like rap or buy you one through five. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Buy it at your business.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. It is a large black building right on the corner. There's a taco truck directly around the corner. Go over there and get some tongue tacos and then go inside and see some tongue ladies. I don't know what that means. Or wag your tongue. Rag your tongue taco at some ladies. Tongue taco, actually, that sounds like a porn thing. That sounds a little filthy. What do you think, Filthy Lily?
I'm not filthy Lily. I'm not dirty Lily. I am not crazy Lily. I am simply Lily.
Who happens to produce the Monday Night Teas at the 3 Clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. Hi, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. This week was the Halloween show.
Oh, it was.
And how did it go?
Fantastic.
I'm sorry I could not be there, unfortunately. I had some things to get ready for my trip. But yes, I'm going to Milwaukee.
You're going on a trip?
I'll be talking about that soon.
Wow.
But right now we're talking about you and the Monday Night Teas. Did you dress up?
I did not.
What? You were business, Lily, certainly.
I was wearing a nice dress and a scary hat that had a spiderweb lace on it.
Whoa.
That was it.
I don't like spiders. We were talking earlier, and Lily's like, hey, I found a spider this big in my house. I went, ah. And she goes, I think it was a black widow. And I went, ah. She goes,
The funny part is I was the one up on the ladder catching it for the catch and release program as Eddie vined about it.
Yeah, the catch and release program is what I want to discuss. It was a black widow spider. Lily caught it and put it outside to kill again.
It didn't kill it first.
Murder. You don't know. It might have killed people in the building and then come and hide in your house. It was fucking...
I would know if
You are a
somebody
safe house.
died.
You are a spider safe house.
I'm not.
You are, because you catch them and you let them go, and they're just outside. They're just like, dude, if you do anything, just fucking hide in that one chick's house. And they're like, all right, dude.
Tell them where I put it.
Because these are valley spiders. Well, then she said to me, she goes, yeah. I go, yeah, so now it's going to go and bite people. And she just goes, well, it's okay. I put it where the people smoke.
Put it where all the people are not supposed to be sitting outside smoking on the thing.
So she wants it to take up residence there. She wants it to.
If it takes out a smoker, I don't mind.
See?
I'm not gonna lie.
She's rooting against you and your lung
That's
filth.
not true. I hope it bites no one.
But by proxy, you hope it bites someone.
No, I really don't. But it made me laugh.
Dirty grasshopper. All right, so the show was good. It was Halloween. It was all decorated and stuff. You had a costume contest. I heard it was really fun, and there were hot girls. It was great.
Great show.
I'm mad I missed it.
Soul Swingers played. It was awesome.
The TSS.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoys them. Now this week you've got a show coming up, and
I
that
do.
is Monday the 4th.
Yes.
And is it a theme show?
No.
It is a hot show, though.
Yes.
Will you be involved in some way?
No.
But there are amazing people involved.
Yes.
Folks, you can go and get tickets at brownpapertickets.com for this amazing show. And go to Facebook and go to MondayNightTees.com. And you can be Lily's friend all over the place. Go do those things. You'll find out all you need to know about the Monday Night Teas. And also, you will find out about the Hollywood Barbecue. The Hollywood.
Barbecue Festival.
Sure. The Hollywood Burlesque Festival, because the BBQ throws me off. Hollywood Burlesque Festival is coming up. As you know, it's going to be amazing. Well, look, both of them are showing off with the best meat. So, ha ha.
No, I'm back to the
Oh.
podcast. No.
Hollywood BurlesqueFestival.com. You can go there and learn all the stuff you need to know about the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. And or you can go to, Facebook.com/Hollywood BQ Fest or Hollywood Burlesque Festival.
Hollywood Burlesque Festival. Just do a search for Hollywood Burlesque Festival. You can find the group or the page.
You'll find any and all information about the headliners, the people that are coming to dance, our friend Dizzy Von Dam, all sorts of other people who will be here, Russell Bruner, Roxy Delight, all these amazing acts. Is Nikita involved? She's competing, right?
Nikita's competing.
Yeah, all these people we know are going to be competing. So that'll be fun. Go ahead and check out those shows. Buy tickets now. It's a 4-night event. Going to be incredible. I will be at least one or two of them and hanging out and having a good time and staring and looking at people dancing and having a joyous time. So please buy tickets. Come to that. Come to the Monday Night Teas. Do all you can to support my sister Lily and make sure that things are going well for her so that September of 2014 does not see her stop doing burlesque. All right, so you can go to Facebook.com/the40year-old boy and be my friend. And look around at funny jokes that I post all the time because I am hilarious. And you can see all the photos that people send me of bedbug-ridden furniture. Thanks, Steve, in New York. Thanks for ruining my life. He sent me a picture of a couch wrapped up in like saran wrap, and it says, "Live bedbugs do not open." And he's like, "These are all over New York." I said, "Yes, I know, because it's a filth pit. Because fucking America has gone to hell. People get bugs and they throw them out on the street. It's terrible." And ask me again why I don't go near a fucking couch, folks. It's terrible. Milwaukee, I already got to go search in there tomorrow. That's not going to be fun. And Jill's going to be with me. My fucking sidekick as we fucking go through the bed bugs. Oh, it's going to be awful.
Angry Jill? Fighting Jill?
Yeah, crazy catfight Jill.
Crazy catfight Jill.
Yeah.
Right.
She's not crazy catfight Jill.
Put her in the sidekick. You could be Dirty Mike and Crazy Catfight Jill.
See,
Put her in your sidecar.
she's going to be
Leave me
so...
out of it.
You're in.
She's
Bullshit.
already got crazy in her name.
I'm going to put another sidecar in for her. Right there. There we go. All three of us are hitting the road.
You can't have two crazies.
Yes, I can.
It'll never end well.
Well, I'm willing to take that chance.
See the two of you holding hands riding up the cliff, Thelma and Louise style.
With scarves flailing in the wind.
I'm out. You go. Have fun.
Here's something funny. She, I guess last week or something, I said that she didn't have my phone number. And she texted me and she's like, "I don't have your phone number. Why would you say that?" And I go, "Because it's a joke. Because I don't know. I do podcasts and I make jokes sometimes. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I just talk." And she's just like, "Well, the very fact that I'm texting you, yeah, I have your number." And she goes, "And people, you talked about our text fight. Like, people are going to know that I have." I go, "So what? Who cares what people think? They know that they have it or they don't have it. Who cares?" I don't get it. I don't understand the explaining thing. But that's fine. I mean, it's just, she's great. So I'm going to see her in Milwaukee. We're going to the Bears game, and it's going to be fun. And remember, I was worried about Packer fans beating me up. I think I got to worry about the threat closer to home. She's going to kick my ass. All 5 foot nothing of her is just going to whip the shit out of me in a parking lot somewhere and get cheered on by everybody. It's going to be brutal. But as you know, that's one ass whooping I'll have to take. So, folks, I am going to be in Milwaukee. Tickets are on sale now at brownpapertickets.com. I am in Milwaukee this Saturday, November 2nd. That is a 7 o'clock show no, I'm not in Milwaukee, Green Bay.
You're in Wisconsin, not Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's Wisconsin. You're thinking of Minnesota. I do the same thing all the time. Yeah. No, Milwaukee is in Wisconsin, but I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin doing the show, but I'm flying into Milwaukee. So I'm in Green Bay at the Green Room Lounge, Saturday, November 2nd at 7 o'clock. Tickets are on sale right now at brownpapertickets.com. You can get those, and you should get those because nobody else is. So go ahead and scoop those up. And usually I go, well, there might be walk-up sales. There will be walk-up sales available, folks, because everybody's like kind of holding off until the last second. So that's fine. Beat the rush. Get them online. They're available right now at brownpapertickets.com. Search my name. Search the 40-year-old boy. Search the Green Room Lounge. Search all of it, and you will find me and my tickets available for you to purchase. So go ahead and plunk down your hard-earned cash and come and see me dispense filth in Green Bay. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. I had a little pause there. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to all the pages there. They're fun. You can donate to this show via all of the donation links on every page of the MikeSchmidtComedy.com site. Upper left-hand corner, there's a little Schmitty with his pocket out. Click on it and send a donation, like some of our many friends who have in the past who have donated money and done very good things. And I'm not going to mention them because I mention them next week's show. So the Joe Business page is also available for you guys to peruse and shop from. There's a ton of me there. Oh my God, is there a ton of me? There's For the Life of Schmitty. There's the big angry CD that I will sign and send to you. There's Schmitty Comes Alive, the download. There's the Yurt Dirt Dirt shirt. Please remember, by the way, Yurt Dirt Dirt ringtones are out there. Yurt Dirt Dirt ringtones. My phone, every time it goes off, it makes me laugh because I'm dumb. So if you can't get it via the Facebook Westside 86 Jokers fan club page, you can email me and I will send you the ringtone yourself. You can have it. Remember that tweakedaudio.com/40 is a wonderful supporter of this show and a wonderful supporter of the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. They have done everything they can and stepped up for us, and we do appreciate Bruce and everybody who works there. Thank you so much, and for all of their support for our show. So patronize them, or patronize them, right? Patronize them, patronize their business. Yes?
Don't patronize them.
Go ahead and patronize that business. Go ahead and patronize that business.
Go there.
Yeah, go to tweakedaudio.com/40, and you can get a cock ring watch. You can get a cock ring set of earbuds. You can get some cock ring gear. Oh, it's all cock rings over there now. They've changed it up. It's all cock rings. It's all ball bearings these days, fellas, and cock rings. So go there and check out the stuff that they've got at tweakedaudio.com/40. Remember, there's artwork available for sale. Hey, Paul. Hey, Nicole. Your artwork is on its way to me via the USPS. I can't wait for it to arrive. Unfortunately, I'm on a plane tomorrow to Milwaukee, so I can't send it to you when it shows up. But it will be here waiting for me when I get back, and then I will package it and send it to you. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. So thank you for ordering that artwork, all this kind of stuff. Your Dirt shirts. Everything is available for you at joebusiness.com. No, MikeSchmidtComedy.com, the Joe Business page. And I gotta get the fuck out of here. I have a ride to the airport in an hour. So I gotta go home. I gotta jump in the shower. I gotta wash this grease out of my hair and then put more grease in my hair. I was gonna need a bowl of pineapple. That's not happening, folks. But I'll tell you, when I was driving here today, I was going to exit on Highland, and there's a couple of lanes there. Have I mentioned this? I like to stay in the closer of the lanes, but then I certainly don't go to the far right. Whatever the fuck, who cares? There was someone who was driving super slow, and I got behind them. I was going to pass them, and then I was like, well, I can't pass them. I've got to do this. And so I stayed behind them, and as they were driving, like they were probably going like, I would say 50 on the freeway, and then they were hitting the brakes. Like every 5 seconds, they were hitting the brakes. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was furious because there were people on the right-hand side of me, so I couldn't get over. So I was trapped, and then people are just passing us. And I'm like, God damn it. And it's so funny. I only had to go maybe half a mile or 3/4 of a mile behind them. But it pissed me off so much that I was being delayed. I'm just like, God damn it. What the fuck? I got to get into the show. I got a couple of things I got to do. I'm just furious. So they keep hitting the brakes, hitting the brakes, hitting the brakes, hitting the brakes. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's some shitty Celica. It was just a bad fucking car. And I could see two people in the front seat. Like, and the person in the passenger seat was just fucking round. I mean, just like big and round. And then the guy driving, I guess it was a guy. I don't know. I just saw the back of his head. So they're driving. I'm like, what the fuck? It was the way you would imagine Cheech and Chong would drive once they were high. You know what I mean? Just like stopping and almost stopping and sort of hitting the brakes. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So finally it starts to peel off. And I go to get off right and get off on Highland. And I punch it because I want to see who the fuck these assholes are. So I pull up close. And in the passenger seat closest to me was a woman. The round person. It was a round woman. I mean, she was round. And she was kind of, you know what she looked like? She looked like a Pac-Man ghost. She looked like Blinky. It was Blinky in the fucking front seat, right? And driving the car was like a smaller guy. He was like a Latino guy. And she had her back kind of 3/4 to me. And as I punch it and I'm driving by, I get a look at him. And again, I see him only for like 3 or 4 seconds, but I'm able to look at him. I wanted to give a mean look. I wanted him to look at me like so I could let them know, hey, motherfuckers, you need to speed up. You need to stop hitting the fucking brakes. You're on the freeway. You got to drive like a normal goddamn person in your shitbox Celica. What the fuck, Inky? So I try to glance over, and fucking Clyde won't even turn around. But the driver kind of like leans and he looks, and I see him, and then it dawns on me. I realize why she won't look at me, and I realize why he wanted to look at me. She's giving him a hand job while they're driving. Because I see her hand, like her arm is moving. And her arm is moving, and she's like concentrating intensely on her work, so she won't even turn around. I just got fucking Inky's back, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, well, I hope she raised her pinky, ha ha ha. But he leaned forward to look at me like, ha ha, check this out, like you know, because I couldn't see anything because it's a car, and I'm a little higher up in an SUV, but I wasn't getting a view. But he thought I was, like he was getting off on that, and he kept hitting the brakes, and that's what he was doing. He was fucking hitting the brakes and looking at people in their cars so they would look in and see him getting a fucking hand job, and I'm like, dude, that's just wrong. I mean, if you're getting roadhead or a road hand job, just be happy with that. You don't need to include anybody else in it. I mean, I've had roadhead, and you're just like, well, I mean, I guess I could kind of slow down and let this truck guy look at me. Oh, I'm sorry, is that the name of the show? All right, good. No, because you can't call it roadhead. That's gonna be awful. But you know what? Just live in the moment of your roadhead, or live in the moment of your triumph in the car. You know what I mean? And try not to ruin your steering wheel. That's all you can fucking do. But to lean forward and look and be leaning back and pretending like haha and beaming, it's just fucking, it's awful. And I just picture her just fucking going at it, and then he looks out the window and he looks at me, and she's got to be looking at him like, hey, concentrate, because I'm trying to get this over with. Or also she actually may have just reached down and said, you've got some big balls, Mr. Mike. And I got to be honest, if I'm driving and that happens, that's enough for me. I'm about to ruin that windshield, because I may not like a compliment in a medical sterile room, but I am driving in a fucking shitbox Celica. You drop that on me, forget about it. Watch your eyes. Because everybody's getting fucked up. I didn't know it was that kind of party.
A perfect day. Drink sangria in the park. Then later, when it gets dark, we'll go home. Just a perfect day. Feed animals in the zoo. Later, a movie too, and then home. Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you. Such a perfect day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on. Just a perfect day. Problems all left alone. Weekenders on our own. Such fun. Just a perfect day. You make me forget myself. I thought I was someone else, someone good. Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you. Such a perfect day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on. you sow. You're gonna reap just what you sow. You're gonna reap just what you sow.